Well, I do hope you made the most of the platform that you're all part of with the kind of beautiful features we've created for all of you. So we hope you've taken ample time to even experience the experience zone. In between the sessions, I'm going to urge all of you to once again, take a look at all the available features. And in case you have any queries, you can always ask them at the help desk. With that, let's actually march ahead because it's also time for another special address. And as we're all part of this industry that is literally powering the movement of our nation's economy, for that matter, let's actually get started and hear from Purnima Anand, President BRICS International Forum, as she joins us to, sort of share with us a special address mainly around building future relationship of BRICS, which is nations, trade, supply chain, political, and cultural cooperation. Now, she's someone who's been spearheading this collaboration for a while, and with her vision, it'll be very, very important for her to share her thoughts with all of us. So it's a special address we're definitely looking forward to. And up next, let's hear from Purnima Anand.
I congratulate to the organizers of Economic Times Supply Chain Management and Logistic Virtual Summit 2021 for their great success. Building future relationship of BRICS plus nations is an optimistic initiative towards new roadmap to expand BRICS agenda for holistic development with friendly countries. We live in highly interconnected and interdependent world with significant spillover across countries. BRICS plus countries have been the main driving force for global economic growth over the years. At the same time, BRICS has emerged as a major factor in a peaceful, prosperous, and multipolar world. BRICS countries are geared up to explore new opportunities towards a comprehensive cooperation and a closer economic partnership to facilitate market interlinkages, financial integration, and infrastructure connectivity, as well as cultural and social people-to-people dialogue. It therefore comes as no surprise then that these economies become the new engine of global demand for surviving the uncertainty during worldwide COVID-19 pandemic. Its magnetic attraction for BRICS plus friendly countries. International new alliances, strengthening representation of emerging and developing countries in the institution of global governance will enhance their effectiveness in achieving the objective of BRICS plus. Asia, Africa, Latin America, and Gulf countries having new opportunities to reform and restructure their economic policies with the BRICS alliances. The rise of BRICS in global economy is an illustration of the growing importance of a larger group of emerging countries. It comprises 42% of the world population, having 23% of the world GDP, and over 17% shares in the world trade. It shows that increased globalization has meant that BRICS has become an important source of global growth and political influence. Financial market in the BRICS countries have similarly expanded in a rapid manner. For example, in the last 20 years, Brazil's market capitalization increased from a very low 4% of GDP to 74%. India from 12% to 93%, Russia and China from almost 0 to 70% and 81% respectively. Russia and China from almost 0 to 70% and 81% respectively. In South Africa, market capitalization has more than doubled from 123% to 278%. According to S&P Global Market Intelligence Global Bank Ranking, banks from these 5 countries figured among the top 100 banks in the world, with the top 4 banks headquartered in China. As we know, during the last 15 BRICS summits, leaders discussed many issues. of global importance, including global financial and security situation, countering terrorism, climate change, sustainable development, reform of the multilateral system, reform of WTO and institution of international governance, ways to promote intra-BRICS cooperation, including in science and technology, trade, health, information and communication technologies. BRICS Plus cooperation is broadly covered under economic, political, and security and people-to-people exchanges. From inception, finance and trade is a major area of intra-BRICS cooperation. Let me share strategic about interaction with international and regional economic cooperation, organization and fora for building future relationship of BRICS plus nations. One is development of intra-BRICS cooperation in various international and regional platforms is vital for the promotion of common interest in international trade, investment, industrial, scientific, and technological cooperation. BRICS will strive to further strengthen its role in the global arena by communicating assessment on global macroeconomic situation and trade policies. Through this existing mechanism, coordinating position in international and regional organizations, association and forums, and developing outreach formats of interaction. Cooperation in multilateral bodies and organizations will complement bilateral economic ties in BRICS countries. BRICS countries will continue to develop cooperation within the United System and United Nations organizations, as well as with other international economic organizations, in accordance with the fundamental principles of United Nations Charter. BRICS Plus countries will continue to pursue reform of the global economic governance institution and safeguard the interest of BRICS countries as well as other emerging and developing economies. Participation of BRICS countries in the activities of regional organizations will strengthen their role as regional leaders, promote development, sustainable growth in respective regions, and cross-regional cooperation. BRICS countries recognize the importance of international trade as a key to new jobs, sustained economy, recovery, as well as balanced growth and development. BRICS members reaffirm the value, certainty, and primacy of the multilateral trading system in world trade regulation and their commitment to strengthen the rule-based, transparent, non-discriminatory, open, and inclusive multilateral trading system as embodied in the World Trade Organizations. To that end, BRICS countries urge together other countries to resist all forms of trade protections and discuss restriction on trade while supporting the work of WTO and other international organizations. BRICS countries should strive to enhance their cooperation to create conditions to expansion and diversification of BRICS participation in global trade. The BRICS grouping have achieved much since the first political dialogue in September 2006 and the first BRICS summit which took place in June 2009. In the 7 years since the first summit, the BRICS countries have established the new development bank and the contingent reserve arrangement. In my view, these are the quite significant achievement in a relatively short period of time. For the purposes of this talk, I would like to focus on these two initiatives. NDB has decided to fund 44 projects worth more than USD 12 billion within BRICS countries, including 8 projects worth USD 3,246 million in India. Further, contingent reserve arrangement to provide protection against global liquidity pressure has been set up in BRICS, which is very important, extra and exclusive good cushion. The establishment of the BRICS NDB marked a milestone in BRICS cooperation. As mentioned by some analysis, it is a testament of the coming of age of these countries in the world of development finance. Others have mentioned that National New Development Bank was established to change the post Second World War international economic order, that is the Bretton Woods system. But the objective of the new development bank is to promote South-South cooperation and to better serve the need of developing countries through the promotion of infrastructure and sustainable development. Against the background, the new development bank should rather be seen as a complement to rather than a challenge, or as competition or existing Bretton Woods institution. In the future, the World Bank and the New Development Bank may look to cooperate and by so doing enhance the interaction development financing system. New Development Bank has new financing mechanism which focuses on a more equal and balanced development partnership in the relationship between major developing countries and with their smaller developing counterparts. The new development bank plans to use market-oriented operation to reduce loan costs and provide innovative loan facilities so that developing countries will have a more robust, flexible, and customer-oriented development finance services. Their commitment to the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development in its three dimension economic, social, and environmental, and reiterated that the sustainable development goals are integrated and individual and must be met while leaving no one behind. It observed that trade and investment in BRICS plus countries is very important to achieve sustainable, inclusive, and dynamic growth. The BRICS countries should avail themselves of opportunities provided by international economic cooperation, including deepening of trade and investment ties both within BRICS and with other members of the international community. More active inter-BRICS trade and investment cooperation will contribute to economic growth and facilitate the use of existing opportunity of BRICS economic complementarity. I feel BRICS and partner countries, in order to expand trade and investment cooperation, the following goals should be followed. Enhancing consultation and macroeconomic and trade policies, simplifying the increase in the efficiency of administrative procedures to facilitate and accelerate mutual trade and foreign direct investments, improving the transparency of trade and investment climate in the framework of international obligation and national legislation, promoting complementary of production factors such as capital, labor technology, and natural resources, strengthening customs cooperation, including simplification of customs, clearances, procedures, exchange of information on national custom laws, as well as exchange of best practices. Creating condition for the BRICS companies, in particular for micro, small, and medium, to be better integrated into the global value chains with higher added value with innovative startup projects, attracting and promoting investment into special economic zones within BRICS countries, exchanging experience on programs directed towards the integration of targeted groups such as youth, women, socially and economically disadvantaged strata, and people with disabilities and rural communities into mainstream economy. Promoting strong digital e-commerce platform, promote information exchange through BRICS Virtual Secretariat and BRICS Economic Exchange Platform, as well as other agreed platforms. Communicate and coordinate cooperation among port administration department and to work on BRICS shipping routes to explore blue economy opportunities. National accounting is required to framework for the blue economy and ocean governance to identify and harness marine and coastal economic activities which are likely to be economical, viable, socially acceptable, and environmentally sustainable. It should include coastal marine spatial planning and tourism, marine fisheries, aquaculture, and fish processing, logistic and coastal deep sea mining and offshore energy system, security, strategic dimensions, and international engagement are need to be developed and information exchange on existing trade and investment opportunities, ensuring the availability of information to business community on sea routes. Financial cooperation, institutional connectivity, and physical connectivity is important for development of safe, balanced, and dynamic transitional transportation and logistics systems is essential for economic growth of the BRICS countries and BRICS plus countries. Efficient operation of the transportation system is crucial for the international trade and integration in global production chains. Communication in infrastructure, information and telecommunication technologies as a key instrument of logistics system also make a considerable contribution to accelerating growth and cost reduction. BRICS cooperation in this sector is aimed at developing transportation and communication, infrastructure and supporting mechanism, including use of innovative technologies to increase efficiency of transportation and logistics system, promotion of standardized digital data exchange system in logistics to facilitate multimodal and intermodal transportation for forming BRICS data bank. BRICS plus countries welcome and develop and organize the meetings in both business to business, B2B, and people to people, P2P, spheres, including those of BRICS academic forums, BRICS think tanks, BRICS Interbank Cooperation Mechanism, BRICS Women Business Alliance, BRICS Business Council, BRICS Network University, and looking forward to greater cooperation in this area. Thank you very much, and I hope I succeed to transfer the BRICS Summit agenda to common people and to understand the BRICS cooperation in the other global countries for the cooperation and for the sustainable development goal programs during pandemic time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Purnima ma'am, for sharing across the agenda for the BRICS Summit and for also sharing your meticulous thoughts with all of us with regard to the agenda over here. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's also take forward the enthusiasm and the momentum, and let's march ahead towards our next session. In fact, talking about our next speaker, let me also inform you that she is a dynamic leader herself, and she's someone who has been very, very instrumental in driving the growth of Wellspun's home textile businesses to $1 billion global leadership with focus on innovation, brands, and sustainability. In fact, our next session focuses on a very important aspect, wherein we focus on the future of supply chain and how trade finance is seamlessly integrated into operations going forward. So to share her thoughts, we have Deepali Goenka, CEO and Joint Managing Director of Wellspun India, who will be sharing her insights around this very befitting topic. As we all know that Wellspun is also a strategic partner to top global retailers with a distribution network spanning over 50 countries. So it'll only be interesting to hear Deepali Goenka share her thoughts around this very, very important topic. So on that note, let's gear up ourselves and let's look forward to another very interesting special address featuring none other than Deepali Goenka, who's the CEO and Joint Managing Director, Wellspun India.